Do you like fantasy football and sports betting? Come join us here at the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, where hosts Matt, Shane, and Jason talk about fantasy players, lineups, and sports betting to help you compete and win championships. And of course, some extra cash. Let's jump right into the show.
Welcome back to another episode of the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. Matt, Shane, and Jason with you guys on this lovely, pretty dang cold evening. It's starting to get wintertime, boys. How you guys doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic. It is 100% sweater weather, and I love it. That means it's football season. That means it's the best time of the year. It means that my team is usually going to end up in the last game. Anyways, I digress. It's great to be back and see your guys' beautiful faces.
Yeah, it's cold in the morning, but it's like 60, 70 in the afternoon. So it's one of those, it's the time of the year in Texas where it's kind of weird out here for us, where it's kind of sweater weather, but we don't know how to react whenever it's 30 degrees outside.
Does the town shut down? Let me just ask you that.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%.
If there's any precipitation during those time periods where it is that cold, the whole world shuts down there. It's hysterical.
If there's snowflakes, flutters, regardless, whatever it is, and cold rain, shuts down.
Shut her down, he says. Well, we are glad to be back with you guys for another week of the Parlay Fade segment, guys. This is our betting segment. You guys know the drill. We each give out 3 bets for NFL. I do some college plays, and we move on about our business. I will say, guys, we are killing it. We are doing extremely well. Our overall totals have won you guys probably quite a bit of money, I would venture to say. So before we jump into that, guys, remember, head on over to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Look up the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. We are over there if you guys listen to the audio version. Driving to work, driving for fun, anywhere you guys are doing. Head over there, click subscribe, leave a 5-star review, leave a comment. We would really appreciate some more interaction from our subscribers, our current subscribers. Thank you so very much. We love you guys for continuing to share the podcast, support us, and spread the word. The show is growing, and we can't wait to see what happens in the future. Head on over to Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. That is where we currently are live streaming, is over there on their YouTube channel. Give the channel a subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, leave some comments. If you guys want to comment while we're doing the podcast right now, leave some comments. We'll try to answer some questions for you guys. We would love to be able to interact like that. Head on over to fantasy6pack.net. Become an all-access member. Shane, what is the Black Friday % off? Isn't it like 45% off your membership or something like that?
It is even more than that, Matt. It is 48% off. So big news. It is the largest sale that they have ever provided. So if you haven't subscribed yet, this is your perfect opportunity to get the best of both worlds.
Yes, 48% off. That is such a massive, massive, massive deal. So become your all-access membership right now, because it's only going to go through... When is the cutoff for that, Shane? Did Joe put it on there?
I did not.
Is it
I have not
Thursday
seen
and Friday? I thought I remember seeing something just Thursday and Friday only.
It may be Thursday and Friday only. I will dig into that and we will circle back.
Yeah. But it is Thanksgiving week, guys. Remember, have fun with your family, watch some football, give thanks for everything. Anything you guys want to give thanks for, man. It's a day of relaxation, spend time with your family, and just watch some good old football, because that's what the 3 of us will be doing. If you guys want to follow us on X, you can find Shane at Shane Parlay FF. You can find Jason at Jason Parlay FF. And you can find myself at Matt_Parlay FF. And then, like Shane said last week, now head over to Blue Sky at Parlay Shane over there on Blue Sky. And I know that I got real busy this week, so I didn't have a chance really to mess with Blue Sky, but I am on there. I will start getting in there and diving in some more stuff over there on that. Jason will probably do the same. But other than that, do you guys have anything to add?
At Parlay FF on Blue Sky as well, if you want to go give the podcast a follow. But other than that, yeah, no, that's it.
Jason?
No, nothing else. Let's get right into it, my guy.
All right. So, like we do each and every single week, guys, I will start off with some college plays. I really actually like a lot of the numbers, a lot of the games this week. So, become your all access member so you guys can get the majority of my picks. I will recap a little bit from last week. Last week, overall record, I went 6-4, end up going over 500, another plus 500 week for me. The free plays slacked a little bit. I only went 1-2, not my best stuff. I apologize for that. We just had some wonky games, but I will say overall, I'm sitting at 86-59 is my overall record. And for me, I absolutely love that. If you guys have followed any of my bets, you have won some serious money, I would presume. So I'm going to hope to stay on that train. And this week, I'm going to try to do a little bit better for these free plays for you guys so you guys can get some plus money on that. So first game of the week, I'm going East Carolina money line versus Navy. And I know some people are going to be like, whoa, what's this? What are you doing here? But let me hear. Navy was a very, very good team and unbeaten, running all over teams early this season, but have since dropped 3 of their last 4 in a pretty ugly fashion, as well as going 1-3 against the spread in those 4 games. They have only scored 14 or fewer points in those last 3 losses as well. East Carolina fired their head coach midseason, and since that has happened, they have kind of been on an offensive explosion, and I really haven't watched East Carolina a lot this season. Since promoting their defensive coordinator, Blake Harrell, to the head coach, they have scored at least 38 or more points in each game and going 4-1 against the spread in the past 5 games. Now, their defense does still have some significant holes in it, allowing 28 or more points in the last 4. But East Carolina has just been scoring more points than the other teams. They are technically dogs here in this game, but I like them to win outright. Give me the money line on East Carolina. Next game, I'm going San Jose State -3 / money line, whatever floats your boat at or against Stanford. Guys, this is the holiday week, boys. Holiday week. And Stanford has won 3 games in 11 total this year. If you watch their games, however, they have not thrown in the towel and they continue to play extremely hard. One of those games, they beat Louisville as 21-point dogs, and they also lost to Cal 24-21. So they are remaining competitive. They are a competitive team. But San Jose State is a 6-win team, and their running back Chalk, I don't know if you guys have watched any highlights on this dude. He is their leader on offense, he's been right around 700 rushing yards, and he's scoring 9 touchdowns. They also have a talented wide receiver, Nick Nash, who has nearly 1,300 yards on 96 receptions and 14 tutties. San Jose State. Yeah, sorry. He's a dude. He is a dude, man. San Jose State is going bowling already, but can certainly better their bowl game here with a win over a Power 5 team. Even though Stanford has a losing record, it's still a Power 5 team, and they can better their bowl game in this situation. Now, in the past, they have lost to Stanford quite a few times, but this is a much better team, and Stanford is not anywhere where they used to be. So give me San Jose State, -3, money line, whichever one floats your guys' boat here. Last game, last free play for you guys, Georgia Tech, +19.5 versus Georgia. Now, these teams are obviously in 2 different situations here, as Georgia Tech is coming off a good 7-win season, can better their opportunity right here. The Bulldogs, they're looking ahead already at the SEC title game and have essentially locked up a playoff berth here. But, and let me rephrase that. With the demise of Ole Miss and Alabama last week, Georgia kind of feels like they're back on top of the SEC right here with those 2 teams losing. So they're already looking ahead. They're more than likely going to play Texas or maybe Texas A&M. So they're looking ahead here. They're in a spot where what are they playing for? What's Georgia playing for? What's Georgia Tech playing for? Some flash, in-state rivalry. But if you go down and you look at Georgia's games, especially probably the last 3 to 4 games, you can see that their defense has improved slightly from where they were at the beginning of the year. Their problem now lies on the offensive line. And they do now have holes in their wide receiver room. If you watch their games, Georgia is actually I wouldn't say very, but they're not a very good first half team. They've only covered the spread in the first half where they've been favored once this entire season in the first half. Georgia Tech is a slow, methodical team. They like eating the clock. They like running a lot of plays. They're going to do that here against Georgia. And I think at plus 19.5, they can keep this closer than that. So I'm taking Georgia Tech plus 19.5 as my last college free play.
I like that.
Go ahead, Shane.
I do have a play this week, Matt, and it's a Thursday game.
Oh, I like it. Which one is it? I might have this too.
I have Memphis covering 14.5 versus Tulane. Are we head to head, or are you backing me?
No, I have that play. I have that play as well.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead
and
give
it.
out Memphis 14.5. Look, Memphis is one of the best running football teams in the Group of 5. They're playing Tulane, who is just attempting to stay healthy at this point and hope that Boise State loses. Memphis has a pretty impressive offense, and they have played well against tougher competition. And one thing I will say about Tulane is they have played nobody in a long time. This is a chance for Memphis to step up and play against a higher level of competition and rally for that. And this is a spot for Tulane to get sleepy and get slapped around a little bit by this run game from Memphis.
I love that, Shane. That's actually, so spoiler alert, I have a fourth free play for you. It's Memphis. I love that play.
Write that down?
Yeah, you can. That's
okay.
That's a 2-unit play for me. I really like that play.
Is it 14 or 14.5?
I think it's 14.5, right?
It is 14.5. The only place that it is still 14.5, I just looked this up to make sure, is on ESPN Bet. Everywhere else has moved to 13.5, it looks like. So, it's 14 at MGM. I would still play it at 14. I would not go lower than 14.
Yeah, agree. Yeah,
real quick point, Matt. Last week you actually gave us 4 plays, so you did not go 1 and 2. You went 2 and 2. You gave us SMU.
Yeah. Oh shoot! Yeah, I forgot.
You had it in SMU, and you had KU at +3. So you went 2 and 2 last week instead of 1 and 2. I just want to make that.
No, you're right. I totally forgot. That mark that down.
Do I need to add 1 win to your overall as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Because I did not have that in my spreadsheet.
Got you. Just wanted to make sure with that because I saw that and I was like, yo, you had 4 picks last week. You did not go 1 and 2. You went even last week. So just to clarify everything. Yeah, I like those picks, you guys. Hey, this week in the college football area, it's rivalry week. Mm-hmm. I love it, especially Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's a run football heavy team. If they can control the football and actually kind of run it on Georgia, look ahead weeks. We all know what happens with look ahead weeks. Look at A&M last week. Stuff happens in college football, especially with younger dudes. So, hey, love those picks. But, guys, are we ready?
Let's get it.
Yeah. Hey, let's get into it, guys. It is week 13. We are flying through this season. This was my worst week in 3 years of being on this podcast. My first 0-4 in 3 years. And I think that is almost more impressive than going undefeated.
It's impressive.
Honest, because, it's one of those things where I'm kind of proud of that in a way. Not for everybody who tailed my bets, but if you do want to fade me just because you think this guy doesn't know anything, hey, cool. You won a lot of money if you just faded me. But hey, with that being said, let's go over our picks last week. Our free picks that we gave you. Your boy went 0-3, of course. Matt, you led the group at 2-1, and Shane went 1-2. Locks, Matt and Shane both hit their locks. Your boy did not hit, obviously. So Matt and Shane go to 8-4, both for the year. with their locks. I go to 7-5. Last week I went 0-6. Matt went 2-2, and Shane went 2-4-1. The free plays that we gave out for y'all, total wise, we went 3-6. Not our best week, probably one of our worst weeks of the season. Going into week 13, that's actually not too bad, but we got to step it up a little bit. So, which brings us to a group total of last week for all of our games. If you got the premium picks, we went 4-12-1. Our season totals moved to your boys at 32-29. Matt is at 31-23-1, and Shane is at 39-35-3, which brings our group total to 102-87-4. So we're still positive. We're still making money for all y'all. So, hey, it's an up and down season. NFL is the hardest sport to bet out there. There's a lot of trials and tribulation out there. Starters going out, all this sort of stuff. So bye weeks, hey, you don't know what's going to happen. But let's get into it for this week. We got the turkey week. We got Thanksgiving football on Thursday. We got Friday NFL football as well. Saturday is for college, but we go Sunday and Monday. We got the special. We got the whole platter for us this week. But Matt, since you did the best out of all of us, I think this is like your second or third week going first in a row. You got the honor, sir. Go ahead.
Alrighty, boys. Well, I'll make it simple, man. My lock is the Lions -10 this week versus the Bears. They're playing at home. I will add a little caveat here. I know David Montgomery's banged up. I know Dan Campbell came out today and said that Amon-Ra St. Brown's a little banged up, did not practice. This lock could change, and if it does, I will make sure to post some stuff. But as of right now, the Lions -10, by the way, David Montgomery says he's fine and he'll play. But the Lions -10 right now versus the Bears playing at home, man, this team right now just looks absolutely unstoppable. It looks like even when they make mistakes, they still find a way to come back and win pretty handily. The Lions at home on Thanksgiving, with the shape that the Lions are in right now, is a scary matchup in my personal opinion. They have the whole package of everything currently. I know the Bears have a pretty decent pass defense, but the Lions just have so many weapons. Is this the week Sam Laporta gets back on track? You know, it's just one of those things where I just don't think they're going to be able to cover. Jordan Addison just went nuclear on the Bears last week. So I'm leaning towards just staying hot with the Lions as my lock. I've had them as a lock like 4 or 5 times this year. And so give me the Lions -10 versus the Bears at home on Thanksgiving as my lock of the week. My
favorites over 10 points on Thanksgiving are 9-0 or 11-0 since 2005.
Okay. Well, that gives me a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
My next game, guys, and I think Shane and I are head to head, but I'll let him talk about it, is I'm going to take the Falcons, and actually I'm going to take the Falcons money line here versus the Chargers. Falcons playing at home, coming off a bye. They've had a long rest. They didn't look good their last time out. I feel like currently the Chargers, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a perception thing because I love Justin Herbert. I've loved him in college. I love him in the pros. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I feel like during the middle of the season, towards the tail end of the season, when they lose one, they go on like a 2 or 3 game losing streak. And I did not vet that, but I have that feeling. I just have a feeling that they always seem to do that. I think on paper, the Falcons are a better squad on paper. I know the Chargers have stepped up, and I love seeing that, but I just have a feeling that the Falcons are going to win this game at home versus the Chargers this weekend. I think this is more of just a gut play. So I'm going to take the Falcons money line right here. My next game, give me the Texans -5 playing at Jacksonville. Jason, you better call up D'Amico Ryans and tell him to pull his head out his ass. Okay? The Texans are a better team. We all know the Jacksonville Jaguars are down bad. But when Joe Mixon runs the ball 14 times for only 21 yards last week, There is something wrong with that picture when he has been a top 5 running back all season long, pretty much, right? Nico Collins balled out. I just have a feeling that the Jacksonville Jaguars are another team that's kind of playing for maybe a potential first round pick or a first overall pick. I don't know, but I know they don't look good. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is fully healthy. I know he says questionable this week, but I just don't think he is fully healthy. That team just does not look good. And the Texans are a better team. So -5, I like that number. I think last week losing to the Titans for the Texans was kind of a mirage game, kind of a spot like, hey, we're going to put you in your place here. You better wake your ass up situation. They need this win. The Texans have to have this win. So give me the Texans -5 playing at Jacksonville.
Shane?
All right. I will start with my lock of the week rather than where I was going to go here. So lock of the week is Eagles +3 at the Ravens. Look, this is purely a spot play against the Ravens. This Ravens team is very good. However, the Eagles are white hot, and the Ravens just came off of what we have deemed the Harbaugh Bowl, and they're on short rest. It's not a good look. The Eagles will probably have to turn away from just handing the ball off to Saquon. However, I believe that Jalen will be able to exploit this very weak Ravens secondary, and we are looking and locked in for a high-scoring matchup. I'll take the Eagles in that sort of game. Next, my teaser of the week. I have a 6-point teaser on deck for you guys. Also, fun fact, play these at DraftKings. They give you -120. Don't play it elsewhere. Anyways, Steelers is +8.5 at the Bengals. This is raw Mike Tomlin spot. Plus, I still don't think the Bengals are a legitimate team. And I'm pairing them with the San Francisco 49ers to +13 at the Buffalo Bills. We're talking about the Niners who have their backs to the wall versus a team off a bye. I know it's a tough spot, but covering 13 is definitely doable, especially considering the fact that they should get Brock Purdy, Trent Williams, and others back. And CMC also is starting to look good, and the scheme matchup is not good for the Bills. I think Jason may have more on that later. Last but not least, to address the elephant in the room, yes, I'm going to head-to-head against Matt again this week, which, as you can see, he's drinking because I won last week. Justin Herbert will have an absolute feast of a day following Turkey Day against this Atlanta Falcons defense. They are 25th in opponent dropback EPA, and they allow the highest completion percentage in the league. An offense that is derived completely off of efficiency. Smashing the Chargers into the spot just makes sense. I know it's technically a bad spot facing a team off the bye. However, the Chargers have plenty of motivation after getting stomped in the Harbaugh Bowl to rally the team here and come back punching in Atlanta.
Listen, hey, I love it. I have Justin Herbert as a fantasy quarterback, so I need it. But you better just hope QJ catches the ball.
Josh Palmer and Lamb McConkey exists, plus our guy Will Dissly, man.
Yeah, Will Dissly is a beast, bro.
He's a beast.
I love me some Will Dissly.
Also, I just realized I forgot to switch myself to the spotlight. So here you go, Jason. Spotlight for you.
There we go. All right, guys. Hey, bad week last week. It's a get-right week for me, and y'all aren't going to like my picks. You might kind of throw up in your mouth, but I love them based on history. I'm going to start off with my lock. Give me the Giants +3.5. Turkey Day in Dallas to ruin the Cowboys' Thanksgiving. We all saw how the Giants looked last week. Anemic, terrible. The Cowboys actually came out to play and shocked the world against my lock last week, Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Who would have thought that? The Sharps thought that. So I am shifting gears. I'm looking at it the other way. I think Dallas's game last week was an emotional win, and I don't think they're going to show up to play on a short week. Give me the Giants to cover the 3.5. In the past 13 Thanksgiving games, the Cowboys are 2-11 against the spread. I think the Giants keep this game close. I love the under in this game. I think this game is going to be a terrible offensive game. It's going to be whoever has the ball last. I think the Giants can cover, especially with the hook at that 3.5 point mark. Next game, I'm going with the Packers. I'm going with the trends. Tua says he wants to shift the narrative against the cold weather game. We know it's going to be cold in Green Bay this week. It might potentially snow this week in Green Bay. I think it's going to be under 30 degrees at game time. Am I right, Shane?
20 degrees with a 20% chance of snow and 10-degree winds with shifts up to 20.
You Hawaiian boy, I don't think that you can play well in the cold. Who are you? You Miami. That's why they drafted you to go down south. You ain't going to hang up north in football weather against the Green Bay Packers. Give me Jordan Love to stay hot in that offense and shit all over Miami this week. 3.5. I like an alt spread at 7.5 this week to shut down the fraudulent Dolphins. Tua is 1-3 against the spread and under 40 degrees is the stat also. So, hey, take that as you may. I like an alt spread. You can push it up to 6.5, 7.5, whatever. You might get plus 200 on those odds. Next game, last game. When you get embarrassed by a division or by a team in the NFC or in the same conference as you usually come out and play better than you did last week. I know the Bills are coming off a bye week. I don't care about a bye week. We all saw what happened with the Arizona Cardinals last week. They didn't come out to play. So I think the Bills will get set right this week, especially with Purdy and Trent Williams coming back. I like them to cover 7 points. 7 points is way too much in this game. I even think that they win this game. The Niners season is on the line. I don't think the Bills are the team that all the sports media is hyping up. I think that line is way too much. I see it at more 4.5, 5.5 points. Everybody and their mother is going to be on the Bills this week. Watch out because this is going to be the sharp game of the week. I like the Niners, and I like the Niners on a potential upset going into this week. Give me the Niners to cover that 7 points right there.
I love that.
Big fan. Big fan.
Sorry, I needed to get my anger out on.
You gonna get right, boys. Now you all better listen now, okay? Yeah. Jason gonna get right this week. I like that.
I'm gonna try to stay sharp this week, but guys, hey, we do have a dog play for y'all this week. So hey, Matt, you're the one that gets to go first.
I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's that at? Plus
135.
135. Yep,
yes,
I'll
sir.
take the Steelers.
Shane?
I have the. Oh, hold on. I lost my note here. I still lost my note, Jason.
Go ahead,
you
Jason,
go
while he finds it.
So while Shane looks for that, I have the Giants to spoil Turkey Day in Dallas. I like the Giants to win. Give me Tommy DeVito.
Or Drew Lock, whichever one.
Yeah, or whichever one.
Or yeah, whoever plays. I don't care. The Giants are going to win this game.
I have the San Francisco 49ers at the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah. What are those odds, Jay or Shane?
22-16. $10 wins you $220.
Look at that. Looky there. That's freaking awesome. Well, that's going to be our free plays for you guys. That's going to wrap up the Parlay Fade episode of the podcast. Guys, remember to go and get your all access membership. 48% off. 48% off this week on this Thanksgiving week. Go over to fantasy6pack.net and add that promo code.
Friday. Yeah, Black Friday. Use code Black Friday. I mean, if you want to give us, the credit, you get Parlay FF for 15% off, but use code Black Friday for 40% off.
Yeah, head over there. Biggest sale of the year, probably one of the biggest sales they'll ever have. So go over there and get your all access membership. And that does come with all the stuff, access to all articles, fantasy stuff, bets. It gives you access to the Discord channel where there's hundreds and hundreds of people in there talking all the time. And it's not just football. It's every sport. If you like betting, you can go over there and talk about betting on any sport. Fantasy, same thing. Head over to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. click the subscribe button, leave a 5-star review for the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, which is us three goons that just like to talk about football and betting and all sports. Head over there, do that. That would greatly help us out. And to all those that are continuing to do it, thank you so very much. And with that being said, you two boys know what to do.
Hey, bet smart, win some money, and go Chargers.
Have a great Thanksgiving with your fam, guys. Love y'all. Appreciate the support.
That's right, man. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We love you all to the moon and back. And until next episode, peace out.